Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 6 of my countdown series to Uncharted 4. The previous episode and playlist of the series are in the description below, and as always, if you are enjoying the series and are a fan of the Uncharted series, then please subscribe. Now we are only 6 days left until Uncharted 4 comes out. It is truly here. In today's episode, we look at the month of April. Now, not much happened in this month, however, there were still quite some awesome things that did happen, even though I didn't watch any of them. The first thing was that, as of late March, there was quite a few preview events across the world, where some people got to play a bit of Uncharted 4, and on the embargo for this little preview event was on April the 4th. Now, the area of setting is Madagascar. Again, I haven't watched it, so there won't be any gameplay of it, and of course spoilers as well, because I don't want anyone else to see the gameplay if they don't wish to watch it. All I've heard is it's a very open landscape. You're driving a jeep. There's a combat segment with a few unique twists and turns, some nice traversal, etc. But that's all I've really heard and seen some screenshots. I even saw some funny gifs of, I think it was the IGN playthrough where they hit a rock straight away. I don't know how some of these people get the jobs they do, where they kind of suck at games, and hopefully they don't do the review of the games. But I didn't really see much of it. One thing that took away when I was reading an article about it was apparently in this combat segment there's this tower, and if you go up to the top where the zip line is without killing all the enemies near you, a reinforcement truck will appear to assist them. However, you do kill all the enemies, this truck doesn't. So this makes some more unique encounters, and I would like to see how that varies across the game depending on your playstyle. I can't really say much more on it. Again, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it was awesome. I just hope there's not too much vehicle traversal in the game, as I feel that could really dry out what Uncharted is with its fast-paced action combat and set pieces. The general overview of this preview was the fact that the game felt a lot more fresher. It was Uncharted but so much more open, and what the Uncharted basically we always wanted. Now, the only complaint I heard was like a run button maybe in the game. For some reason people thought that was needed, and one person or a few people had a complaint about the controls again, which, you know, when that's your only problems in the game, you know you are doing something right, and I'm sure once the game releases there'll be more than enough options to sort that out. Now, except for that, there really wasn't much more news in April. It was more just the anticipation of waiting, you know, when review copies were coming out, when embargoes were happening, the multiplayer information, we were all just waiting for these things to happen. And in the month of April we did get a few more bits and bobs of information. At the PAX East weekend, Uncharted 4 multiplayer was playable, and of course, which was pretty obvious, that the plunder mode was actually going to be Uncharted 4. Now, this thing may have been twisted around a bit in tweet, we're not too sure yet, but this was a mode that was pretty obviously going to be in the game, and they've made it a lot more varied. Now you can traverse all the combat because of the Uncharted 4 multiplayer maps. You will need to traverse a lot, and that's what they've done in it. Except for that, review embargo was confirmed, I think, very late April, that it was going to be on the 5th or the 4th, depending where you live. Again, I'm not sure if that's 100% confirmed yet still, but that was the idea as of this recording on the 29th of April. Except for that, review codes have been given out this past week, the last week of April, and maybe a bit before, depending where you live or how high profile you are. But that's really all there is to the April news. Not much happened. It was just a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement, waiting just to hear the final news of the game. Now the game's done, we're just ready for the news itself, and here we are. The only last news I would think there would be was that there was a patch. There would be a patch on day 1, which would be about 5.1 gigabytes, which is quite a hefty patch for day 1. However, this was because they couldn't actually fit the multiplayer onto the disc. The disc is holding 48 gigabytes out of the 50 gigabytes available, and I believe the multiplayer is about 4.8 gigabytes. So they've added a few single player bonuses to the patch and a few improvements. The general beef of the patch itself is for the multiplayer aspects, which is, you know, it's going to suck, but you don't actually need to download that patch if you're just going to play the single player on day 1. Anyway guys, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully in tomorrow's episode I will be able to overlook at the reviews. I won't go into them too much detail, as I want to keep it preserved for myself, but I definitely want to have a good look at them and give the overview of what Uncharted 4 really is compared to the previous Naughty Dog titles. See you then.